What's going on, everybody? Tom here with Black Sheep Keto, and welcome to another cooking video just for you subscribers out there. And if you're not a subscriber yet, please consider doing so. Now lately, guys, I've been craving a lot of Chinese food, and here in America, a staple of pretty much every Chinese restaurant is egg drop soup. Unfortunately, that stuff is loaded with cornstarch, and we can't really do it on keto. Until now. That's right, guys. Today we're going to be making a ketogenic take on an egg drop soup. And the best part is, it's actually relatively low calorie. For the entire recipe that we're going to be making today, it is right around 200 calories. So you want to sit down and indulge and enjoy the entire batch, that's totally okay, and you can do it without guilt. So if that sounds good to you guys, hang on tight so I can show you how to make it. Alright everybody, welcome to the recipe. Now what we have here is 4 cups of a chicken broth. I try to find the one that's got the least amount of protein possible. And we're just going to take all 4 cups of this and put it into this medium-sized saucepan. And we're going to put it over like a medium-high heat. Now to our chicken broth right here, we are going to be adding 1 teaspoon of these dried green onions. I sometimes buy the fresh stuff, and that's totally cool if you have the fresh stuff, but I noticed that for myself, it tends to go bad before I can use it also. I've just started buying dried green onions. So 1 teaspoon of those dried ones going in there. We have 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of pink salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, somewhere between a 1/4 and an 1/8 teaspoon of white pepper. I did an 1/8 teaspoon here because I found that a 1/4 was a little bit strong for most people, but I did enjoy it and I like peppery things. So for most people, go with an 1/8 teaspoon of white pepper. You can always add more later. And 1/2 teaspoon of sesame oil. This stuff is very, very powerful, adds a ton of flavor, and you know what, guys, it does add a little bit of fat as well. Now that all that's in there, we're just gonna go ahead and give this a nice stirring to kind of break up the clumps of the spices that may be in there. Now let's let this come to a boil while we work on the next phase of our soup. Now what I have here is 1/2 cup of water and 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum. Now typically egg drop soup is made with quite a bit of cornstarch to help thicken up the soup, otherwise you're just gonna have a broth. But if you want that nice thick texture, the xanthan gum will work perfectly. So what I like to do is just kind of sprinkle it over the top of my 1/2 cup of water. And then grab yourself one of these coffee stirrers and just kind of run it through there until all the clumps are broken up. Now once your little slurry of xanthan gum and water looks like it's pretty even, go ahead and add this directly to the soup mixture. And stir it in. You will notice the soup start to thicken almost immediately. Now I wish you guys could smell this. It smells absolutely amazing. And we do have one final step here while we're waiting for this to come up to a boil that we can take care of. And that is whisking our eggs. So what I have here is 2 eggs inside of a liquid measuring cup. This is just gonna help me pour it a little bit later. And you're just gonna whisk these until they're smooth. And now that that is done, I will catch up with you guys as soon as this comes to a boil. Now as you guys can see, our soup is boiling. So what we're going to do is we're gonna take our eggs and we're going to create a spiral inside of our soup using our whisk. And then very slowly pour your eggs in. Now we're going to let this cook for just a few minutes. You want to avoid stirring it at this point, otherwise you're going to break up all those strings of egg. So just let this boil for about 2 more minutes and your soup will be ready to go. Alright everybody, now that you've seen the recipe, I'm going to go ahead and put that finished product on the screen right now, just so you guys can see how delicious this looks. And now it is time for the taste test. So what I have in my bowl right here is literally the egg drop soup just as the recipe makes it. You can totally add things like coconut aminos or whatever other things you'd like to put in your egg drop soup. But for the sake of the taste test, I'm doing it exactly as the recipe makes it. So let's give this thing a taste. Now that is absolutely delicious, guys. The texture of the soup is spot on. You get a little bit of the ginger on the side of your tongue. It's a little bit salty, and those ribbony eggs really just kind of glide through your mouth. It is a fantastic taste, texture, and honestly, guys, you probably wouldn't be able to tell that this is keto. So if that sounds good to you guys, please consider making this recipe. And if you decide you want to post it online, make sure you tag us at blacksheepketo, because I really love to see what you guys do. But with that, it is time to close out the recipe. If you like this video, give it a like. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section. And if you have not subscribed yet, come on guys, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, show some love, and I will see you in the next one.